श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। Shloka 16 together. एवमप्यङ्ग सर्वेषां देहिनां देहयोगतः कालावयवतः सन्ति भावा जन्मादयो प्रकृत अत्रापि कर्मणां कर्तुः अस्वातन्त्र्यं च लक्ष्यते भोक्तुश्च दुःखसुखयोः कोऽन्वर्थो विवशं भजे न देहिनां सुखं किञ्चित् विद्यते विदुषामपि तथा च दुःखं मूढानां वृथा संकरणं परम् यदि प्राप्तिं विघातं च जानन्ति सुखदुःखयोः तेभ्यः न विदुर्योगं मृत्युर्न प्रभवेत् यथा कोऽन्वर्थः सुखयत्येनं कामो वा मृत्युरन्तिके आघातं नीयमानस्य पथ्यस्येव न दुष्टिदः। In these verses that we covered last week, Sri Krishna is heavily criticizing the Purva Mimamsakas. Who are the Purva Mimamsakas? Those who are very committed to the Purva Bhaga of the Vedas. They are called Karma Kandis. And what is their philosophy and mindset? That you have to be dedicated to karmas. They are enjoined by the Shastras. So, as a karta alone, you be a bhokta, and doing karma, there is a chance of gaining svargam, and that is freedom from samsara or moksha. So, Sri Krishna heavily comes down upon them and demolishes that kind of mindset. And Sri Krishna gave a number of arguments by saying, if there is an I notion in the deha, that is deha abhimana is there, then I take myself to be this individual. And who is that? That is the karta. Yeah. So today's karta is tomorrow's bhokta. And if I am a karta the whole of this janma, then the next janma is I will have to be a bhokta. Yeah. So where is the swatantrata? No. As a karta, I am so limited. Yeah, I am ignorant whether the karma phalam will be guaranteed. Yeah. And as a bhokta, I am extremely helpless because the result can be as equal to what I expected, more than what I expected, less than what I expected, or completely opposite. Yeah. So as a karta, I am anxious. Karma phalam is not guaranteed. And then there is so much struggle Anybody goes to work with a smile every day in the morning, and whether we go outside or except Kumada, she's always smiling. But at home, are we not, wondering how am I to do this again and again every day? So the household chores or working for a livelihood profession involves struggle and effort. Yeah. And then on top of that, nobody approves. Nobody is giving us recognition and praise. Few words, children, if they expect love and praise, recognition, approval, it is fine. We have to give it to them. But if adults, 50, 40, 60, 70 plus, if they also expect, then there is the emotional dependence. Yeah. So, Sri Krishna says here that as a doer, if I'm a doer, I will have expectations, demands, ragadveshas, and then I will engage in karmas for the sake of the karma phala. And even if supposing I get some sukham, how long does it last? It is dukkha mishritam, it is mixed with pain, and even as I'm enjoying an accomplishment, it is slipping away. So when I look back, I've crossed many milestones, but you see how time snatches away everything moment by moment, and I have to, helplessly, vivasham, flow with the time. I have no choice. Yeah. So that is, this mindset of the karma kandis or the purva mimamsa. So Krishna says that this kind of materialistic, worldly pursuits will not give one peace and happiness. Yeah. Then what is the solution? Deham naham koham soham. I am not the body. Deham naham soham koham. Who am I then? I am soham. Saha aham. And we saw that also. Naham karta hari karta. So Krishna says we. We means what? We are all Uttara Mimamsikas. Uttara Mimamsikas means who are committed to the Uttara Bhaga of the Vedas, that is to Jnanam. And what kind of Jnanam? That Akarta, Abhokta, Atma, Iti, Aham. Yeah. So the knowledge of the actionless and the Akarta, Abhokta, Atma, that is who I really am. So we don't say drop karmas, but what do we say? Drop kartritvam, the I notion. Yeah, the I notion. I'm taking care. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Even good things, Suppose you say I'm taking care of parents. I'm taking care of my in-laws. What is the big deal? That is a duty. So why should we be proud about our duty? Yeah, it is something that needs to be done. Yeah. So let us do it without grumbling, complaint, or without even taking credit for it. So that is to be a karma yogi, a pure nimittam. Yeah. So that is the counter argument that Krishna says, and in Atmabodha we saw karma is avirodhitaya. Karma can never be opposed to avidya. Yeah. It will rather sustain and perpetuate avidya. Yeah? Because karmas will keep me bound to the cycle of karma. And so then Krishna also says that, so since life, is so unpredictable, so complex, and it appears so unfair at times, that is, I work so hard for something, I do not get it. Yeah. Then somebody else appears to effortlessly get it. And the great, masters who are, in great exalted positions, they don't seem to be really happy. They feel lonely, insecure, and have sleepless nights. But a humble, simple person appears to be happy and contented. So, is happiness, contentment directly related to kartrutvam and bhoktritvam? No, rather it's inversely proportional. Yeah, that may be the mathematical equation, right? So, then Krishna says that we don't say drop karmas, rather one has to perform karma as per ashrama varna kula. Krishna already said that to Uddhava. Yeah, but to offer the karmas to me, mad ashraya bhava, mad arpanam kuru. Yeah, that is the thing. Then in the 20th shloka, Krishna, said that even if we know how to, get the maximum happiness and to minimize dukkham, what can we do about the inevitability of death? Death is a great leveler. Death is going to come whether you want it or not, and when also we do not know. Yeah. So then, just as a person like a convict who's convicted to be hanged until death, or these animals, what happiness will they get, before that from these goals? They will not desire all these materialistic goals. So Krishna is giving the message that Yama Dharmaraja is there for everybody equally. Yeah. So then what is the meaning of Kon Vartha Artha Kama? What is the meaning of pursuing Artha and Kama? For the sake of happiness and peace. Very, very strong, intense message by Krishna was covered up to this 20th shloka. So now Krishna has heavily criticized whom? The Purva Mimamsakas, or those who are chasing Artha and Kama pursuits Iha Loka, in this world. Now the next shlokas, Krishna is going to criticize those who think that, okay, this life here on planet Earth is, unpredictable. Janma or enjoy some Swargaloka and freedom from samsara there? Is that possible? And what is Krishna's answer going to be? No, because the mindset is the same. Remember Kathopanishad, we saw the mantra Yatha Iha Tatha Amudra. As it is here in this loka, so it is true of any other loka. But the next few shlokas, we are going to see the spiritual tourism. Yeah, the tourism and how the Shastras talk about Swargas, Swargas and travel to Swargas, but then they also talk about how it is nothing but a holiday out. Yeah, just like we visit a foreign country, but we have to be back to the home base. Yeah? So Sri Krishna is ultimately doing what? Narrowing down the pursuits. It is even Artha, Kama, even Punyam, accumulation of Punyam for the sake of Sargavasa is fruitless. Yeah, it will not give the permanence that you are seeking, the happiness, security, and peace. So the only option really is to turn within and seek the knowledge of the Akarta Amurta Atma. But let us chant the 21st shloka here, and that is talking about this Paraloka Phala. Starts with Shrutam ja Drishtavat Dushtam. Shrutam cha Drishtavat Dushtam. Shrutam cha Drishtavat Dushtam. Bhakvantaraya kamatvat. Bhakvantaraya kamatvat. Krishivacchapi nishphalam. Krishivacchapi nishphalam. Together. Shrutam cha Drishtavat Dushtam. Suyatyayavyayaihi. Yeah. So now, the scene shifts to Sargalokas. Okay. Now, where have we heard about Sargalokas? How do we know? Shastras, right? None of us, even if we have seen it, we would not remember it. right? So Shastra talks about travel to other lokas. In fact, even science talks about parallel universes. Even right now, there are Svargalokas interspersed with the Bhulokas. Only they are so sukshma that we cannot see them with our physical eyes. So here, Shrutam cha Drishtavat Dushtam. So Drishtam, what is Drishtam? Right now, we are able to see the world with our sense organs, and with the mind we can know the world is Drishtam. So too, Drishtavat, just as the world is Drishtavat, so too what is Shrutam? What we have heard about Svargalokas, 7 up and 7 down, that is also heard, or we have read about it in the Shastras. But then there is this, it is Dushtam. Dushtam means here limitation. We just talked about it. The limitation of pursuits is very much there in the physical world. Parichannatvam. That is, there is a limitation of desha, kala, vastu. Threefold limitations is there. And drishtava dushtam. Just as, there is a finitude, there is limitation here in this world, so too what? There is limitation in other worlds also. Yatha ida tatha amudra. That we have heard, Shrutam. Then, what kind of limitation? Second line, there is spardha. Spardha means competition. Yeah? Competition, comparing and contrast. Svargalokas, we have heard that there is no physical birth. There's no physical birth. So there is no vikaras. There is no aging. There is no death because there is no Yama Devata. But what is there? Subtle mind. And the mind alone competes. The mind will say in Svargaloka, I have a 4 BHK. She has a 5 BHK. Yeah, I have VIP tickets to Rambha's concert. But, this person doesn't have this, that. They will be comparing and contrasting. So Spardha is there. Then Asuya. Asuya is envy. Yeah, jealousy will be there. I want to be the manager of Indra, who is the lord of the Devatas, but somebody else has that post. So we have to imagine all these details, and all the serials and Puranas, they show all this, I think. And Puranas also, if you read, you will come across all these situations. Then Atyaya. Atyaya means destruction. Destruction means what? Means that Swarga Vasa is time bound. It is like a vacation. It is a break from the earthly limitations. So that's the last word there, Avyaya. Avyaya means changeless, but here it is Vyaya. Vyaya means expenditure. When we spend. So when we have to buy anything, groceries or dresses, there is Vyaya, expenditure. So too, every moment in Svargavasa, there is a expenditure. Every moment you are spending your punyam. All the credit and punyam accumulated here on earth is being exhausted in a Svargaloka. Just like when we go on a vacation, the debit cards will get debited. And then when there is zero balance or when the visa has expired, we have to return. But sometimes, some people can manipulate and extend. That is not allowed in Svargaloka. Svargaloka, they have a very strong team. And the moment it is zero punyam, Indra is going to show the way out and you will be escorted politely but firmly and back to the home base. So when there is Vyaya, then there will be Atyaya, destruction. So that means my life in the heavenly worlds is also time bound. And see how the mind creates barriers and differences. Yeah. And so there are these problems. No. Then Bahu Antaraya, third line. Bahvantaraya is split as Bahu Antaraya. Antaraya is obstacles. So there are so many obstacles. Kamatvad. Fulfilling desires has many obstacles. So even if you manage a Svargaloka, then we have to be prepared for all these lokas. See, even on planet Earth, we say Switzerland is heaven on earth, or America, Maldives, Hawaii, yeah. But when you go there, is it all very heavenly and enjoyable? Such a long journey to go there, first of all. Then we are second-class citizens there. We are labeled as immigrants. We have to follow their customs and rules, right? And then we are not free to follow our devotional ceremonies sometimes, especially in the Middle Eastern countries. You are not allowed, openly. So there are many rules. So there are a lot of problems, wherever we go, because there is the mind. Then the last line is Krishivat cha api nishphalam. Yeah. So in that pursuit, what are we talking about? Which pursuit here? We're talking about the people who want to accumulate punyam here on earth in order to go to heaven and enjoy moksha. That is the definition of moksha. That is why even today in our country also, many people believe going to Vaikuntha is moksha, going to Kailas is moksha, or latest is go to Vrindavan Goloka. There is a special heaven called Vrindavana Goloka. It may be there. These Shankaracharya also says it may be there. But lokas are conditioned in time and space. If you go somewhere, then you will have to return. Yeah. How can it be permanent? So Shankaracharya explains in the Bhashyam how these Svargalokas are all really ultimately states of the mind. There may be space stations, but really an intense moment of suffering, Sade Sati, is like hell right here, right? But a very punya situation, everything is going well, children are studying well, and the job is permanent, then you feel a sense of happiness. It's Svarga for you right here. But here we're talking about the actual Svargas, So even in those Svargas, there are many obstacles, and obstacles not only in Svarga, but also involved to go to Svarga. Ticket, the ticket will be through the Punyam. And Punyam you will get only by Yajna Dana Tapas. Yeah, how much I have to do. And then for every Yajna, it has to be meticulously done. Remember how Yama explains to Nachiketa, the Nachiketa Agni Yajna to go to heaven. In the Katha Upanishad, thrice, exactly. A Trinachiketa is if you perform the Nachiketa Agni thrice and that to invoke Virat in the fire, then mantras are to be chanted perfectly. Dakshina has to be given perfectly. Your Shraddha should be pure and no insects and all should fall into the fire. Otherwise, Papa Karma will be added. Yeah? Then the Naivedyam should be proper. Then only your Sankalpa to go to heaven will be carried by Agni Devata to the respective Devata. Yeah? It's possible, but highly difficult. Yeah. So those are the obstacles. The last line here talks about the Drishtanta. Krishivat, Krishi means farmer. Yeah? So just as in the field of agriculture, how hard the farmer works. Just imagine in this heat, toiling on the land, then putting manure, tilling the land, then protecting it from insects and wild animals, then has to wait for rains. So if there is ativrishti, floods and too much rain, gone. If less rains, also nishphalam. Yeah. So that is why we pray, Swastik Prajabhya Paripalayantam Kalena Varshatu Parjanya. Every day we should pray for our farmers. Let there be just adequate rains, neither too much nor too less. So that, there is food comes to us. We have to be so thankful for them. So that is the 21st shloka. Let's see the next one. 22nd. Antarayairavihataha यदि धर्मस्वनुष्ठितः तेनापि निर्जितं स्थानम् तेनापि निर्जितं स्थानम् यथा गच्छति तच्छृणु अन्तरायैरविहतः यदि धर्मस्वनुष्ठितः तेनापि निर्जितं स्थानं यथा गच्छति तच्छृणु. Now we are going to see the journey. How will the journey materialize to Swarga? Okay. Antarayaihi avihataha. Antaraya we already saw means obstacles. Huh? So by obstacles, avihataha, not obstructed. That means, that is, supposing one has lived a religious life of devotion. Lot of pujas, lot of yajnas, one has done Mahadanam, Chandi Homa, then tapas, also austerities, all this will credit punyam into my account, right? So one has overcome all the challenges and performed Jyotishtoma, Agni, Yajna, and Nachiketa 3 times, yeah? And now, the Svargaloka, a spot has been confirmed, yeah? So, yadi dharmaha svanushtitaha. So, if such a religious dharma has been properly followed, yeah, anushtana been done, then by that, by the proper performance of all these religious way of life and rituals, nirjitam sthanam, that is, one has secured a place in heaven. Yeah, one has secured a place in heaven. Yeah. Then what? Yatha gacchati tat shrinu. Krishna says, so now this jiva, how will he actually be escorted to heaven? Let us see that verse. So nothing more in this verse. So let's go to the 23rd one. Now the mode of transport is going to be described in the 23rd, 23rd or 24th verse. Okay. इष्ट्वेह देवता यज्ञैः इष्ट्वेह देवता यज्ञैः स्वर्लोकं याति याज्ञिकः स्वर्लोकं याति याज्ञिकः भुञ्जीत देववत्तत्र भोगान् दिव्यानि चार्जितान् इष्ट्वे हदेवता यज्ञैः स्वर्लोकं याति याज्ञिकः भुञ्जीत देववत्तत्र भोगान् दिव्यानि चार्जितान्. So here, Yajnikaha, who is a Yajnikaha, is the Yajamana, the one who makes the Sankalpa and one who has arranged all the Vedic rituals. Yeah. So Yajnikaha Ishtva, first word. Ishtva means, Ishtva is a Yaj Dhatu, one who has worshipped. Yeah. Ikta Pratyaya, Ishtva, Tva. So Ishtva, having worshipped whom? Devatas. Yeah, all these heavenly, divine beings, devatas, and how? Yajnaihi, by Vedic rituals, whether Shrauta karmas or Smarta karmas. See, in the Vedic times, especially Dwapara Yuga, how they lived a very ritual-based life. Everyone would perform this, Agnihotra in the morning, then lot of rituals during the day, and then Sandhya Vandanam, all that will be there. But today, they have largely been replaced by Smarta karma, Smriti-based. Smriti-based means you will have japa, pujas, and homas, the equivalent. So, Yajnikaha, so this particular, seeker of moksha is accumulating punyam by the Vedic rituals and worshipping the devatas. Then what? Swarlokam yati. Swarlokam is nothing but Swargalokam. Okay, short form. Swarlokam is this heavenly Samloka Yati, goes. Yeah? And what does he do there? Bhunjita, enjoys. Devavat. Devavat means like Indra and the other gods. Okay? And we know from the Shastra again that how do they enjoy? They'll be drinking soma juice, attending concerts, and then Sankalpa Matrena. Wherever you think you want to be, you'll be there. Yeah? And you're thirsty, then water will manifest or the thirst will be quenched. Sankalpa Matrena, because there's no body, you don't have to go and fetch water and drink and feel satisfied. Yeah, there is no threat of yama also. So there is constant pleasures, entertainment, non-stop. Yeah, and everybody is having a good time there. Yeah. Then what? And that is said in the next one. Bhogan Divya Nija Architan. Yeah. Nija Architan means by one's own effort. Yeah. This was accumulated. This punyam was accumulated because this dharmika yagnika accumulated punyam through the religious life of devotion and yajnas and has secured the spot where these divine alaukika pleasures, Bhogan, Divyan, like the kind that Indra, Varuna, Chandra, Surya, they are all enjoying. He is also enjoying. So, what is the difference here? The difference is only in surroundings. Just like when we go to Europe or America, it's like heaven. At least to me, it was really like heaven. When I visited Arshavidya Gurukulam in Sailorsburg, they were really divinely dressed, even the guests and everybody. And yajnas are going on there, and the food is excellent. There is no want. However much you want, its food is available, and green lawns and all that. But when you come back to India, how do you feel? Mosquitoes, power cut, there's no stable internet, but we are all used to it, right? So here Krishna is contrasting. This is the heaven. When you go to heaven, then everything looks cleaner and more perfect and very organized, compared to our home back on earth. Now the next shloka, 24, is going to talk about the Vimana. What kind of Vimana is going to come to take this Yagnika to Swargaloka? Swapunyopachite shubhre. Swapunyopachite shubhre. Vimana upagiyate. Vimana upagiyate. Gandharvaiviharan madhye. Gandharvaiviharan madhye. Devinam Rityaveshadrik. Devinam Rityaveshadrik. Swapunyopachite shubhre. Vimanam upagiyate. Gandharvaiviharan madhye. So here, now, despite the complexity of going to heaven, all those challenges have been overcome, and now, one has to only travel to Swarga. What is the mode of transport going to be? Like that is described here, Vimana. No? Vimana is a well-known word here. So here the sandhi is Vimane upagiyate. In the Vimana, yeah. And what kind of Vimana? Shubhra. Shubhra is shining and effulgent. Very, beautiful. Shubhra Vimana, like remember Pushpaka Vimana? What was the speciality there? It could expand. Yeah, and then to accommodate as many people who wanted to go for the Pattabhishekam. Then wherever you think, you just have to show your hand or think about it and it will stop. Bharadwaja ashram, then Agastya ashram, here and there they were having a nice tour, no, on the way back, Sri Rama's family. So here also same kind of Vimana. Shubhra Vimana, and it is Swa Punya Upachite. That is by one's own hard work. One has accumulated the Punyam and reserved this, Mercedes Benz like Vimana. Okay. And this Vimane, and sitting in the Vimana, Vimane Shubhre Sapunyo Pachite Upagiyate. This, this person is praised. His glory is sung. By whom? All the divine escorts. Just like we get a welcome drink when we go somewhere, and then they play some music, or sometimes red carpet welcome, wango, wango, evi, like that. Upagiyate will be praised. By whom? Gandharvaihi, by the Gandharvas. Gandharvas, are the celestial musicians who are experts in Gandharva Vidya. And then Viharan, enjoying, Madhye, amidst, enjoying amidst whom? Devinam. Devinam are these divine apsaras. Yeah, beautifully clad. The last verse is Pritya Vesha Drik. Pritya Vesha Drik means exotic clothes. Yeah, they're dressed very, very, beautifully. Their costumes, and all these people are welcoming this, Vaidika and into the Vimana, and he is enjoying. And then now they're going to proceed to heaven. Yeah. Next shloka. All descriptions only here. Stridhi kamagayanena Stridhi kamagayanena Kinkini jalamalina Kinkini jalamalina Freedom navedatmapadam Freedom navedatmapadam Sura krideshu nirvritah Sura krideshu nirvritah Stribhih kamagayanena Yeah. So now, seated in this Vimana, divine Vimana, Stribhih is with Apsaras or with these Devis. Yeah? These Devis in the celestial divine Vimana. And what kind of Vimana is it? It is a Kamaga Yanam. Yanam means a mode of transport. Bus Yanam, Auto Yanam. Yeah? And here it is Kamaga Yanam, which means wherever you wish it will take you there. Like our automated cars maybe these days. You don't need any gears or brakes. It will just go. Sometimes autopilot, there's no driver sitting, but it just goes. It's coming in this, thanks to science. So, Kama Gayanena, by this, this divine Vimana, in the company of divine Apsaras, and this vehicle is what? Kinkini Jala Malina, decorated with chum chum, chal chal, bunches of bells, like our temple doors. When we open them, what a sound they make, no? Like that, this Vimana is making a jingling sound. And it has these bunches of bells decorated. Then Kridan is enjoying, Enjoying, let's take the last line first. Enjoying where Sura Krideshu Nirvritaha. happily this Yagnikaha, this Vaidika is enjoying in the gardens of the Suras. Sura Krideshu is the celestial gardens. So we have to imagine there are dancing fountains, exotic flowers, fruits, butterflies, birds, and it's very, very fragrant. So he's enjoying in those gardens of the Svargaloka. But na veda atmapatam. That word you have split it as na veda. But this person does not know his own atma patam is going to happen at some point of time because he is enjoying the punyam right now. But unfortunately, he has missed the point. Yeah, and all this will end at some point because even Brahmaloka also comes to an end. And not to speak of any other Svargaloka, inhabited by this person. So Sri Krishna is again showing us the finite nature of karma phalam, even if it is a punya karma phalam. Shine punye punarapi madhyaloke vishanti. So even the punyam, which is an invisible currency, is getting exhausted as one enjoys the Svargaloka. And so this person, my dear Uddhava, Krishna says, he does not realize that there is a potential for Atmapatam, that is going to sink. And so what? The human birth, the earlier human birth was really wasted. A wasted opportunity in trying to go to heaven by accumulating punya. Next, 26. तावत् प्रमोदते स्वर्गे तावत् प्रमोदते स्वर्गे तावत् प्रमोदते स्वर्गे तावत् प्रमोदते स्वर्गे यावत् पुण्यं समाप्यते यावत् पुण्यं समाप्यते क्षीण पुण्य पतत्यर्वाक् क्षीण पुण्य पतत्यर्वाक् क्षीण पुण्य पतत्यर्वाक् क्षीण पुण्य पतत्यर्वाक् अनिच्छन् कालचालितः अनिच्छन् कालचालितः अनिच्छन् कालचालितः अनिच्छन् कालचालितः together. तावत् प्रमोदते स्वर्गे यावत् पुण्यं समाप्यते पुण्यः पतत्यर्वाक् अनिच्छन् कालचालितः. Yeah. So now, why do people want to go to Swarga in the first place? Because compared to earth, there are less suffering, definitely. There's no suffering, in fact, there. But also because the time unit is much longer there than earth. So compared to an earthly day or earthly year or earthly janma, the time, equivalent time is much, much longer there. So it is understood as moksha. As I will be free from samsara, but I don't see the end of that long break. That is the aviveka there. Okay? So, tavat pramodate swarge. In the Swargaloka, so long only one rejoices. Remember, yavat, tavat are the four relatives. Yeah? Tavat, so long one rejoices in heaven. Yeah? Yavat punyam, as long as there is the punyam in one's account, as the punyam remains. Yavat punyam samapyate. Who is keeping track of the punyam? Chitragupta. Yeah, Chitragupta. There is a principle of karma, even in our life here itself, Don't we say, oh, I'm going through a tough Sadi Sati Shani period, Then it is said that the last 2.5 years are the worst. Yeah. But But then the astrologer says that, okay, that Papa Karma Phalam will be over by July, and then there'll be Guru Dasha for 12 years, then Shukra Dasha for 14 years, like that, they make calculations. No? So Punyam and Papam are all, measured in times of experience and when it starts, when it ends. Yaha, yata, iha, tatha, amudra. Same logic there also, So then what? Second line, Sheena Punya. So this person, whose Punya has become Sheena, exhausted. Patati, Arvak. Arvak means down. Patati means falls, falls where we don't know. Yeah, because Sanchita Karma is waiting. The top of the Sanchita stack will be the next birth. Okay. Now, if this has been a yogi, yeah, and obviously a religious life of devotion will most probably give a human birth again. Yeah. But now, Patati, why Krishna says Patati is there is no Vimana to escort you back. Okay, like sometimes we book a cab for our guest, no? हमको घर छोड़कर आइए. So we send a return cab will be there. Nothing like that here. Patati, Patati Arva down. And what is more unfortunate is Anicham. Not desiring, you are unwilling. You want to say, let me at least finish that concert, the dance is so beautiful. But no, Indra says, time up, now, then that is the last word. Kala chalitaha. So the time will force that evacuation. The time will say, time up, and one cannot request any extension. So what this means is that time is really playing the role of the karma tracking. So the time knows when this karma will end, when another karma will begin, and that is how it proceeds. Yeah? Next one, 27. Yeah. So now, so far, we have seen these three categories, right? Artha and Kama pursuits in the form of a worldly, materialistic life here on earth, And so Krishna says that, if you are enjoying Putra Ananda, Graham Ananda, Visa Ananda, wealth Ananda, as you are still a Karta and Bhokta, if you take yourself to be this individual only and seeking, then you have to experience later, either in this life, today, later on in the evening, or tomorrow, or later, or next Janma. There's no escape. So what is the fun in being Karta, Bhokta, Janma after Janma? Where is the independence? Then after that, we saw that this person is thinking that what if I accumulate punyam and maybe there is hope of happiness in another loka, alaukika loka, svarga loka. And we saw there also it is a time-bound, finite stay alone. And there also we take the same mind with us. So there is Sparda, Asuya, and all kinds of sufferings will be there. And then again, one has to return back to, the next janma. Just like when you visit a US or foreign country, then if you extend your stay, then they will forcibly deport the person, And here also, anichan, one does not want to return but has to return. Now we are going to see a different section of verses. Yeah? And here, Krishna is going to talk about another set of people who also want happiness, but they resort to adharma. They are the asuras on Prithvi Loka. So they have the asuri sampatti, and then their means is to exploit and cheat and hurt people in order to get what you want. So what is their lot? What is their fate? We already know that from Gita, chapter 14. Yeah? They will sink into narakas and into wounds of pain. And all that is going to be described in the next three shlokas. We will chant 27. Yadyardharmaratah sangat. Yadyardharmaratah sangat. Asatam vajitendriyah. Asatam vajitendriyah. Yadyardharmaratah sangat. Asatam vajitendriyah. Yadyardharmaratah sangat. कामात्मा कृपणो लुब्धः. स्त्रैणो भूतविहिंसकः. स्त्रैणो भूतविहिंसकः. यद्यधर्मरतः संगात् असतां वाजितेन्द्रियः. कामात्मा कृपणो लुब्धः. स्त्रैणो भूतविहिंसकः. Yadi means suppose. So Krishna is saying, Uddhava, suppose adharma rataha. Adharma rataha means the one who rebels in adharma. That is who enjoys, exploiting others, causing pain, is called a adharma rataha. Why would he do that? Sangat asatam. Because he is fallen into bad company. Asatam sangat. Because of the evil association of Durjanas. That's why they say hate, the crime, not the criminal. A child would have fallen into bad company of drugs and addicts and, gundas, and then grows up to be this kind of person. So, sangat asatam or va ajitendriya. Ajitendriya means the one whose indriyas are not mastered. Ajitendriya, who lacks the shamadama. Shamadamadi Shakta Sampatti. So due to wrong association, one becomes a adharma rataha, or one lacks the mastery of the mind, and so what? One is a kamatma. That is one's mind. Atma is full of kamas, cravings, desires, and this person is a kripanaha. Kripanaha is miserly. Miserly who will neither spend money on himself nor on others, and lubdhaha, full of lobha, greed. And strainaha. Strainaha is lustful, or who is a womanizer. Yeah, who is cheating and enjoying these sense pleasures. Strainaha and bhuta vihimsakaha. All the bhutas are beings causing himsa to all of them. Yeah? So this is a hypothetical situation, but we find it's very true in our world today, is it not? All these descriptions are fitting very well. At night we don't know what all people are doing. Even the police don't know this. Next morning we read about it in breaking news, unfortunately. But what happens to them? Let us see in the 28th verse. पशून विधिना लभ्य पशून विधिना लभ्य प्रेतभूतगणान्यजन् प्रेतभूतगणान्यजन् नरकानवशो जन्तुः नरकानवशो जन्तुः गत्वा यात्युल्बणं तमः गत्वा यात्युल्बणं तमः पशून विधिना लभ्य प्रेतभूतगणान्यजम् नरकानवशो जन्तुः गत्वा यात्युल्बणं तमः. So, Pashun avidhina labhya. Yeah? Killing. Yeah? Destroying animals. Yeah? These Pashuns that are not sanctioned. You know, earlier, in some like Kali Puja and all, there is some kind of sanction by some Shastras. Bali, yes. Bali would be there in olden times, you know. And Kshatriyas, it is said even in Valmiki Ramayana that even Sri Rama had non-vegetarian meat. Yeah. So here and there are some sanctions of killing for whatever, for this purpose. But here it is without sanction. You know, so these people, we just saw the description, Pashun Avidina Labhya. And they are killing animals, you know, without any forethought, without a worshipful attitude. It's not for Devata, and it's not out of need like the Buddhist monks, you know, high up in Ladakh, where there is, it's like a cold desert. There is nothing available out there. So they are forced to have non-veg. Yeah? But they do it in a worshipful manner and only what they really need. But not so here. Then what else do these asuras do? Preta Bhuta Ganan Yajan. They are the most tamasic form of worship. We have seen in chapter 17. They are worshipping ghosts and spirits. Yeah, and this is called witchcraft and black magic today. In fact, you know, there are shastras which describe this. For certain kings, you know, if kings wanted to conquer a certain enemy, then there was some kind of, you know, rituals which one could perform. And through that subtle ritual, that king would be harmed. It's there, in some shastras is there. But it was very, very rarely used, and it had to be used very carefully also, you know, as the position of a Raja wanting to protect his kingdom. But not so here. Preta Bhuta Ganan Yajan. Yeah? And they use all these tamasic ways of worship to hurt others. Yeah? Then what happens to them? Narakan Avashaha Jantu. So Krishna says they are not even jivas, they are jantus, insects, equivalent to insects, and they will fall or sink into narakas. You know, narakalokas, the netherworlds, avashaha, helplessly. Helplessly, and then gatva yati ulbanam tamaha. And having gone there, gone to these narakalokas, ulbanam tamaha means dark worlds. Dark worlds means intense worlds of suffering. If you read the Puranas, they describe, no, they'll be fried like bhaji, they'll be dropped into a hot soup. We don't know how much of that is really true, you know. But this is the description of the Puranas, that they will go into dark worlds of suffering. And the Bhagavad Gita explains it a little more logical. I find that they will enter into wounds of pain. That means they will not get a good birth. First of all, forget about Manisha Janma. They will enter and become an animal or some insentient thing. And then we know today animals are hunted for their tusk, skin, fur, and they are slaughtered for consumption. Is that not a Papa Janma? So these asuras will get such a Janma where they will meet such a fate. They will not have any free will or choice, and they will suffer a lot. You know? And that is the fate that the Shastra speaks for such asuras. Let's do one more, 29th. Karmani dukkhodarkani. Karmani dukkhodarkani. Karmani dukkhodarkani. Karmani dukkhodarkani. Kurvandehena tai punaha. Kurvandehena tai punaha. Kurvandehena tai punaha. Dehama bhajate tatra. Dehama bhajate tatra. Kim sukham matya dharminaha. Kim sukham matya dharminaha. Karmani dukhodarkani. So karmani dukkha udarkani. Dukkham udarkani means leading to dukkham, suffering. Yeah. So karmani kurvan. So doing such acts of adharma and violence and tamasic worship, karmani kurvan, which are what? Dukkha udarkani, leading to dukkham and suffering. How did they do that? Dehena, with the bodies. Kaika, Vachika, Manasika, with all the three karanas, they were blessed with, but they completely abused it. Taihi, by them, what? Punaha deham abhajate. They will be born again. Yeah? And they will be born again, certainly not in this Bhuloka, but Tatra, they will acquire a body. Then Kim Sukam Martya Dharminaha. So they will be born, of course, as mortal with some jantu, which is again subject to death. So see, Mrityu Dharma who has is a one Martya Dharminaha, for one who is subject to Mrityu. So for such adharmika person, for such a mortal, may be born even in the Bhuloka, but in a very extreme situation of suffering. Kim Sukham, what happiness can be there for such a person who has given nothing but pain to others? Yeah. So you see, in these shlokas, Krishna is showing how the worthlessness of for a mumukshu, the pursuit of artha, kama, and punyam, for the sake of happiness. Then what is the solution? Solution is only one, which is atma bodha, gaining knowledge of akarta, abhokta. In fact, Ramana Maharishi says we have already fallen into samsara. Although we are born as a human being, which is a very precious birth, but we are back into samsara. That means if we do not watch out, we will be karta bhokta again and be stuck in the cycle of action, samsara. So we have to make the precious, the value of the human birth to do what? To understand and gain knowledge of the akarta, abhokta, atma, and gain that nishtha. Karmas go on, they have to go on, and they will, and they go on, but we drop the kartritva. That is, I shift the I from the individualistic notion to the higher I, that is, I am the Atma. I shift it to the one that is perfect, that is limitless, which is Purnatma, and which is the only source of all Anandam. So I am not this body, mind, sense-centered individual, but I am the Sakshi Chaitanya Atma, which empowers the body itself. Okay? So here we are seeing very powerful statements of Krishna to Uddhava in order to destroy the karta bhokta mindset of the Purvamsikas. And but as the Vedas, what do the Vedas say? They have very intelligently presented the fourfold ashramas, and then there is a time and stage for one to pursue karmas, pravritti marga. But then gaining the chitta shuddhi, let us transition over to the jnana kanda. Just like children are not forever playing with dolls and marbles and all these toys. They shift to better toys, mobiles and computers and laptops, and then finally we outgrow it. So emotional maturity is to outgrow in the sense that I develop emotional independence. In the very first shloka of Bhajagovindam, what does Adi Shankaracharya says? Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamati. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. That dukran, if you look up the Dhatu Patha of Panini, it means karma. Dukran is karma. So any karma, here we are talking about Sakama Bhakti. Sakama, desire-based karmas, not Nishkama Bhakti. Okay? If you are a karma yogi, you are already a mumukshu. You are a upasaka also, but it has to be Nishkama. So samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. So at the final moment, with all these accomplishments of aparavidya and all the possessions and wealth we've accumulated, even punyam Krishna has shown us, will it really help us with gaining lasting peace and happiness? And the answer is no. Okay, so we'll stop here and conclude with the Swasti mantras. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahisha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Shobharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayah Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om